Good morning dear students, welcome to Political Science online class. I hope you are all already studied 4 chapters in Political Science. Today we discuss about the 5th chapter. The second PUC Political Science is one of the subject that is going to provide a great knowledge about the state system in India that you have studied in the first chapter, that is origin and growth of political system in India, and next there are the elections and party system in India and administrative machinery in India and the various social movements. Okay students, in today's class let me discuss about the 5th chapter, that is the nation building and challenges to Indian democracy. At first I would like to give you a brief overview of this chapter. See dear students, this chapter is going to be divided into 2 parts for the sake of our study. See, that is nation building and challenges to Indian democracy. At first, in the first part we are going to study the nation building components, hindrances and responses. In the next part we are going to study inequality, illiteracy, communalism, terrorism and corruption are the challenges to Indian democracy. See, India is one of the democratic country. So, here nation building means our democracy building. So, that is why in the later part we are going to study the challenges to Indian democracy. Before starting our subject, it is important to know some of the learning objectives of this chapter. See dear students, by studying this chapter, we are getting an understanding about what is the meaning of nation building and what are the obstacles are there for the nation building, and also the various responses to the nation building. And also we can know about the various forms of caste and gender inequalities in India and various constitutional measures adopted by the government to solve this problem. And at the same time we can analyze the illiteracy as a problem to Indian democracy, and the 86th Constitutional Amendment Act is a solution to this problem. At the same time, dear students, we can understand the problem of communalism, terrorism and corruption as a threat to Indian democracy, and the various constitutional and legislative measures adopted by the Indian government to solve this problem. So, dear students, see, these are all in brief the learning objectives of this chapter. Let us start this chapter, the meaning of nation building. First of all, let me discuss about what is the meaning of nation building and where this concept is originated. The concept of nation building is an offshoot of nation state system. See, concept of nation building is an offshoot of nation state system. See, the idea of nation state system originated after the peace treaty of Westphalia. See, I have written here the Treaty of Westphalia. Treaty of Westphalia signed during 1648 by the western countries. See, during 1648 the Treaty of Westphalia is signed by the western countries. What is the importance of this treaty? See, after this treaty, the 30 years of war in between the Roman Catholics and Protestants are ended. After this treaty, the nation state systems are formed all over the world. Till that time, there are so many divided territories are there, and these divided territories are formed themselves as a nations and states. See, nation and states means they are the well organized, independent and the sovereign states are established all over the world. See dear students, this chapter is related to nation building in India. So, when the process is started in India, that is important to study. See, the process of nation building is started along with the independence in India. Our national leaders are strive hard to establish a great nation, but in that process they are also faced so many challenges. In that process they are faced so many challenges. See here, student, nation building means not merely a construction of state, it is a reconstruction of state. See, it is a reconstruction of state. It is to unite the people with the sense of nationalism. It is to unite the people with the sense of nationalism. What is nationalism? See, people of a common religion, common historical aspirations, common cultural background forms a nationality. See, the nationality is a base for nation building. The concept is going to be very clear with the one or two definitions. See, we will study one or two definitions that I have written here. The one simple definition, it is given by Myron Wiener. According to Myron Wiener, nation building is an wide ranging process. Nation building is an wide ranging process to build a viable, cohesive, well organized and widely acceptable society. See, nation building is an wide ranging process to build a viable, cohesive, well organized and widely acceptable society. See here, nation building means to establish a well organized society. It is to establish a widely acceptable society. The society must be accepted by all. So, this is the meaning of this definition. And we will take another definition. It is given by K.K. Guy, and according to K.K. Guy, nation building is an omnibus process. See, nation building is an omnibus process and it includes a state building, people building, democracy building, citizen building, economy building, social building and government building. See, dear students, according to K.K. Guy, it is a very simple definition given by K.K. Guy. Nation building is an omnibus process. What is omnibus process? Omnibus process means here nations or the government have to do large number of functions. Government have to do large number of functions. That is to build the state building, to build a true nation state, and a people building, to establish a democratic form of government, citizen building to provide rights and duties to the citizens, and economy building to establish a stable economy, and social building to provide social justice to the people, and a government building. See, here the government have to do large number of functions in order to build a nation. See here students, the nation building means it is to transform a country into a great society. Transform a country into a great society or to establish a powerful nation. The intention of nation building to transform a country into a great society or to establish a powerful nation. To establish a powerful nation, some of the components are very essential. And which are the components are needed for the establishment of a nation building? Okay, dear students, let me discuss about the components of nation building. See, this is one of the very important question. Which are the components of nation building? So, what are the prerequisites of nation building? Here we are going to discuss some of the very important components or the prerequisites for a nation building. The one important component is that community support. Community support. Community support means the collective support of the people are very much essential for the nation building. That is, the quality of the people reflects in the quality of a nation. The people of a country must be disciplined, they must have a work culture and they must have a patriotic feeling. The people of a country must be disciplined, they must have a work culture and they must have a patriotic feeling. And if the people are disciplined, if they have a work culture, then they may build a very good public opinion. With the help of this public opinion, they may select the good leaders also. So, see here students, for a nation building, the community support or the collective support of the people is very much needed. This is one important component of the nation building. Okay. The another important component is that good governance. Good governance includes, or the good governance means the good administration. Administration must include the accountability, the transparency, efficiency, responsibility, responsiveness, etc. See, good governance includes accountability, efficiency, transparency, responsibility, responsiveness are the qualities of the good administration. In the modern times, along with it also include the e-governance. What is e-governance? E-governance means use of technology in administration. Use of technology in administration. With the help of technology, the policies of the government may reach the people quickly. So, this good governance is also one important component of nation building. Committed leadership. What is committed leadership? Committed leadership refers to the able leadership or a charismatic leadership. A good leader may provide a fame and name to his country. See, there are many such examples are there in the world. We can take some of the examples also here. The one such examples I will give you, that is the Franklin D. Roosevelt of America, of USA, is one of the great leader. Why Franklin D. Roosevelt is an example for the committed leadership? Because after the Second World War, whole of the world faced the economic depression and USA is also faced the economic depression. During that time, Franklin D. Roosevelt, the President of America, come out with a policy called New Deal. The policy with the New Deal. And with this policy, the America become the superpower nation. See, thus Franklin D. Roosevelt is provided a superpower position to USA. And also in India, we can take the example of our former Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru. Jawaharlal Nehru is called as architect of modern India. See dear students, Jawaharlal Nehru is called as architect of modern India. It is important, sometimes the one mark question, who is regarded as the architect of modern India? Jawaharlal Nehru is regarded as the architect of modern India because Nehru introduced the 5-year plans in India. He introduced a planning system in India and also the socialistic form of government and also industrialization, all the concepts he is given importance. And in the modern times, we can give the example of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi also. He is also introduced so many plans and provided a great fame and name to India in front of the world. So, dear students, for a nation building or the development of a nation, a committed leadership, a able leadership is very much needed. The political culture includes a set of values, attitudes and the ideal political behavior. See, political culture means a set of values, attitudes and ideal political behavior. The representatives must cultivate an ideal political behavior. They must have a national interest, they must do service to the people and they must have a patriotic feeling towards their nation. If all the representatives are cultivating the ideal political behavior in their life, then the nation building is possible. So, the following a political culture is also one of the important component of this nation building. And another component is that the power sharing. Power sharing refers to the political power need to be shared among all the sections of the people in the society. The political power need to be shared among all the sections of the people in the society. Here we can take one quote of H.J. Lasky, that is, the H.J. Lasky says, if a decision which affects all must be decided by all. If a decision which affects all must be decided by all. If a decision affects the people, that decision must be decided by the people itself. So, this power sharing also a base for every democracy. It may provide the social justice to a nation. The social justice must be a base for all the democracies. In a society, the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, women, minorities, each and everyone must get the representation. So, dear students, the power sharing is also one of the important component of nation building. And next is that universal education. Universal education. Universal education refers to provide education to all. To provide education to all the peoples in the society. As Gandhiji rightly said, education is the light of life. Who said education is the light of life? The Gandhiji rightly said education is the light of life, and this education helps the people to come out of casteism, communalism, religious fundamentalism, etc. So, that is why in India there are the 86th Constitutional Amendment Act is passed in 2002. It is one of the important step in this direction. See, dear students, the universal education or to provide education to all the people of a state is also one of the very important component for a nation building. National character. See, what is national character? National character means nothing but a patriotic feeling towards the motherland or giving importance to one's own nativity. Here, the people of a country must develop knowledge about their history, their culture, their tradition, etc. It is the nation first concept. First preference the people must give to the nation. See, each and every country of the world are following their own nativity or their own national character. We can give some of the examples that USA is calling themselves as the land of liberty, and United Kingdom giving importance to the conservatism, and Australians are giving importance to the aboriginal concept, and this in Africa they are giving importance to the ethnicity, and in India we are giving importance to the cultural diversity. That is, cultural diversity is the national character. Not only this, the giving importance to the national symbols, national flag and national anthem are also considered as a national character. So, giving importance to one's own nativity or giving importance to the motherland is also one important component of a nation building. Okay, dear students, the next component is that mass medias. See, mass medias is also one of the very important component in nation building. The mass medias are called as a fourth estate in democracy, not a fourth organ in government that you have studied in the third chapter. It is the mass medias are regarded as the fourth estate in democracy. They are playing a major role in socialization and modernization and development. Mass medias are playing a very important role in the socialization, modernization and development. Mass medias are acting as a bridge between the people and the government, and also so many times they are highlighting the omissions and commissions of the government. So, the right to expression is also one of the important component of a nation building. See, under the article 19 of the Indian Constitution, that is right to expression is a fundamental right. See, dear students, that is the mass medias also playing an important role in the nation building. And another important component, that is the responsible intelligentsia, means that is the contribution of intellectuals. The contribution of intellectuals also important for the development of a nation. The intellectuals means the people who are having the knowledge and the people who are intelligent. The people with the help of their inventions or with their researches, they may contribute a lot for the development of the nation. There are many such examples are there in India. There are many people are contributed for the development of India in the social science field and also in the science and technological field. We can take some of the examples in the social science field. There are M.N. Srinivasan and Amartya Sen, S. Shetty, Vandana Shiva, Kancha Illaya are contributed a lot for the development of India. And at the same time, in the field of science and technology, there are Saram Vishweshwaraya and APJ Abdul Kalam and C.V. Raman, Dr. Raja Ramanna are contributed for the India's present position. So, the contribution of intellectuals also one of the very important component for nation building. And the next important component is that the national integration. National integration. National integration refers to the unite the people psychologically, emotionally and politically. See, unite the people In India, many leaders are tried for the national integration. We can take some of the example. There are the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Lal Bahadur Shastri, Acharya Narendra Dev, J.B. are tried a lot for the national integration in India. And in India, this November 19th is observed as a National Integration Day. November 19th is observed as a National Integration Day. It is a birth date of Srimati Indira Gandhi. See, national integration or uniting the people is also a very important component for nation building. See dear students, these are all the components of nation building, and it is one of the very important concept. There may be a 10 marks question will be asked in your question paper. What is the meaning of nation building and what are the components of nation building? Okay dear students, we have discussed about the nation building, its meaning and components, and let us discuss about some of the hindrances to the nation building. See dear students, nation building is not an easy process. It also faces so many challenges. So many problems are also there for the nation building. Let us discuss some of the very important hindrances to the nation building. It is important 5 marks question also, hindrances to the nation building. The one important hindrance is that the poverty. Poverty is one of the important hindrance for nation building. See dear students, in India, the more than 1/5 of the people are living below poverty line, and they are living in villages, and their main occupation is agriculture. And this agriculture is dependent on the monsoon, and that monsoon is quite irregular in India. Due to this, the people are facing so many problems. They are facing the problem of the good health, sanitization and basic infrastructure, etc. Due to this, the personality development of the individuals are very difficult. When a personality development of an individual is difficult, then the nation's development is also difficult. So, the poverty is one of the important cause for the one of the important hindrance for the nation's development or the nation building. And another important hindrance is that the population explosion. Population explosion, that we are all very well known that the India is the second highest populated country in the world, and more than 135 crores of people are living in India. Due to this overpopulation, we are facing the problem of unemployment and the shortage of food and housing and many other problems. In this juncture, the government have to solve this problem of unemployment or to provide the basic necessities to the people first. So, that is why the population explosion is also one of the hindrance or one of the problem for the nation building. And another important hindrance is that the regional imbalance. Regional imbalance. What is regional imbalance? Regional imbalance means all the regions in India are not evenly developed, and all the regions in India are not equally developed. Some of the regions are developed and some of the regions are underdeveloped. In some of the states also, some regions are developed and some regions are underdeveloped. In the underdeveloped regions, there is a separatist tendencies or increases. Due to this, the many states are facing the problem. When the separatist tendencies are increasing, they are arguing for the separate states. For example, this problem is there in Maharashtra, that is Marathwada and Vidarbha, and also in Korapat and Kalahandi provinces in Odisha, and also Gurkha hill areas are suffering from this problem. So, the regional imbalance is also one of the hindrance for the nation building. Okay, dear students, the one more hindrance is that the social and political disturbances. Social and political disturbances. There is many more social and political disturbances are there in India. For example, there are many communally sensitive states are there in India. The problem of communalism, caste conflicts, interstate disputes, center state disputes are common in India. So, the social and political disturbance is also one of the hindrance for a nation building. And one more hindrance for the nation building is that political crisis. Political crisis. Political crisis. What is the meaning of political crisis? Political crisis means the emergence of the too many political parties or give a chance of coalition government in India. In the coalition government, there are many vested interests, and this vested interest are prevent to enact the necessary laws for the development of the nation. Many times this vested interest are prevent to make the necessary laws for the development of the nation. And many times the money and muscle powers are playing a major role in Indian politics. And at the same time, the politics has become the gainful employment. So, due to this problem, the nation's development is going to be impossible. See, dear students, the poverty, population explosion, regional imbalances and the socio-political disturbances and political crises are the reasons for which are the hindrances to the nation's development. And this is important. 5 marks question will be asked on the basis of this concept. Okay, dear students, there are not only hindrances we have to study in this chapter, at the same time we have to study some of the remedies. The remedies also there for the nation building. See, by adopting some of the measures, we can establish a powerful nation. So, how to overcome these problems? In order to overcome these problems, there are so many remedial measures also there. If we adopt these remedial measures, then we can build a state system or we can establish a great nation. So, let me discuss about some of the remedies of nation building. Here is also we are going to discuss some of the important points. The one important point in the remedy or in the response is that to establish political stability. To establish political stability. Political stability means to establish a stable government, that the people are electing the government for the 5 years and it must complete its term. It is important. If the government changes frequently, the implementation of the plans and ideas are impossible. So, that is why the government elected by the people must complete its term, and these representatives must take the responsibilities. They must take the responsibilities. In order to establish a stable government in India, there is a Constitutional Review Commission. It is headed by Justice N. Venkatachalaya, is given a fruitful suggestion, and that is constructive vote of no confidence system. Constructive vote of no confidence system. This system is under practice in some of the countries of the world. With the help of this system, the people may change their representatives. Let us say chance is there, chance is given to the people here, they may change their elected representatives. So, this to establish a political stability is also one of the very important remedy for the problems. First of all, we have to establish a stable government. And another remedy is that selection of priorities. Selection of priorities, that the government have to select the priorities. The priorities must be decided on the basis of needs of the people. The government have to give the first preference, second preference, like that. Government have to solve the problem of infrastructure, and afterwards it give importance to the education, and next transport, employment, agriculture, industries, etc. So, here government have to select the priorities. The selection of priorities also one of a remedy for a nation building. And another remedy is that is effective implementation of plans. Effective implementation of plans. Yes, of course, the government is making so many plans, but it fails in the effective implementation. Here it is important the effective implementation of plans. For example, the 12 5-year plans are implemented in India by the Planning Commission of India. Now, the Planning Commission of India is changed or transformed as a Niti Ayoga, National Institution for Transformation of India. See, effective implementation of plans also very important remedy for a nation building. And another remedy is that mixed economy. Mixed economy. Mixed economy refers to the private and public partnership. Private and public partnership. Government have to support the private individuals and the private firms also, because the private individuals also contributing a lot for the development of the nation. There are some examples are there in India. There are Tata, Birla, Wipro, Infosys, etc. are not only provided employment to the younger generation, but also they are contributed a lot for the economic development of India. So, in the remedy, that is mixed economy is also one of the important component for the nation building. And next is that implementation of DPSP or directive principles of state policy. Directive principles of state policy. Part 4 of the Indian Constitution explains about the directive principles of state policy, that is from Article 36 to 51 of our Indian Constitution guarantees the socio-economic rights to the people. Part 3 of the Indian Constitution explains about the fundamental rights, and the part 4 of the Indian Constitution explains about the directive principles of state policy. Part 3, there are the fundamental rights. Those rights are justiciable rights, but under the part 4, there are also some of the rights. They are the social and economic rights, but they are the non-justiciable rights. But it is important in this time that to proper implementation of the directive principles of state policy. In order to establish a socio-economic democracy, it is important to implement or to justify the directive principles of state policy in India. And the one more remedy is that the role of civil society. Role of civil society. Civil society organization also playing a very important role in the development of a nation. Mainly, they are fighting against the administrative corruption, they are fighting against the political corruption, and also they are fighting against the red tapeism. See, in India there are many such examples are there, IAC or India Against Corruption, Election Watch and many NGOs are fighting against the corruption, and they are intended to establish a powerful nation. So, the civil society organizations also playing a very important role in the nation's development. If we adopt all such remedies, or if we establish a political stability, if we select the priorities, if there is a effective implementation of the plans, if we adopt the mixed economy and effective implementation of directive principles of state policy, and if there is a effective role of civil service if there is a effective role of civil society organizations are there, then the development is possible. See, dear students, nation building is a long and a challenging process. Nation building is not a simple process, it is a long and a challenging process. In order to establish a nation, or in order to establish a powerful nation, a charismatic leadership, a competent leadership, active participation of the people and vigilant media are necessary. See, for a nation building, the charismatic leadership and the competent civil service, active participation of the people and the vigilant media are necessary. If all these concepts are there, then we can definitely achieve this nation building, or definitely we can establish a powerful nation. Okay, dear students, this much is about the nation building, meaning of nation building, the definitions of nation building and various components of nation building, and the hindrances and the remedies to the nation building. Thank you.